Feeling overly tired, they both went to sleep. She was awoken by the sound of footsteps, thinking it was my stepdad being overly loud going to the toilet or something, only to roll over and realize he was still laying next to her. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. I'm sunburnt. And a little bit on my forehead.
Yeah, I had sunstroke yesterday.
What?
Paranormal.
Did you just knock out?
Yeah, my chair hit the table.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. We don't fake things here, so I ain't fucking claiming shit.
I know.
Knocked with my chair.
I know we don't. We haven't even introed the pod yet, but you've just reminded me. I was talking to Mum yesterday. Apparently, paranormal shit has started kicking off at their house again.
Oh.
Oh, and they're going on holiday for 3 weeks. Investigation locked in.
With Chloe.
Who's staying there? Who's cat sitting? My sister. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go there. We're gonna just tell the ghost to fuck off. We're gonna just open up Ouija boards, not close them down, then leave. I'm like, Chloe, fucking enjoy.
And you know what? We're not even going to put any sage anywhere.
No, I'm gonna
sage.
cut myself across the chest, get the blood out, and just be fucking putting upside down crosses, pentagrams all over the house. I'm like, there you go, Chloe. Enjoy cat sitting, son. That's it. That's it. No, but that's great news. Well, it's not great news.
I
guess it is.
Do you want to hear what happened?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that bit.
Yeah. No info whatsoever. You just went in.
Oh, this is it. This is my chance.
So Mum's side of the bed, because the house has been renovated since the video, so they have an actual bedroom now.
Yeah, the last video, I just want to say, because your parents' house is lovely. Yeah. When we did our video, the house was being renovated, which is why it looked like a building site. It doesn't usually.
Me and my brother had just moved out. They had empty nest syndrome, and I think they were just knocking in all the bedrooms to make one massive bedroom, so they didn't have to feel like we'd moved out.
The whole house is now open plan. It's just 4 walls. And that's it.
Really tall ceilings.
Yeah.
No stairs.
No stairs. No top floor anymore. It's just one. The whole thing is one room.
They actually moved it all to the basement.
That's it. But yeah, so what's happened?
So the mum's side of the bed is the one furthest away from the bedroom door. And what she does is she rolls down the blackout blinds, and then she turns off the light and walks from the light switch round the bed to her bed. And as she was walking to get in, so Dad comes up to bed after her. So she was setting all this up, turned off the light, started walking to her side of the bed, got stopped because she bumped into something, and then could feel someone like right in front of her face. And she went like that, and nothing was there.
For the audio listeners, she was scurrying with her hands dramatically in front of her face.
That's it.
That's mad. Okay, that's cool. That's good enough for me.
That's horrible.
We can go back, do an investigation, jump in the hot tub.
Jump in the sauna.
Jump in the cold plunge.
Quick little session in the home gym.
It's got a lot.
Then off to the cinema room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then into the one bedroom.
Yeah. No, it sounds great. Well, return. There we go. New investigation on the horizon out of absolutely nowhere, guys. That's exciting.
Right.
And it actually fits great with this podcast because we're doing people's paranormal stories. So
I just gave Mum. I didn't even know that either.
There you go.
Honestly, it's because we're so in tuned.
The ghosts wanted you to say that.
They wanted to tell their story.
Exactly. That's exciting. It's also good to know that our first try at a cleanse absolutely didn't fucking work. It's a good thing.
It worked for a year though.
It did. So if you want your house cleansed for a year,
we'll do it for free.
We'll do it for free, but we have to film it. That's how we work. It's like them landscape gardeners, the ones that cut grass, and they're like, "Yeah, I'll cut your whole grass for you for free." So that video is gonna make you probably about 20 grand in ad revenue because you get like 40 million views. Be like, honestly, I'll break my back for you, old lady. I'll do it out of the goodness of my heart. Okay.
Can you cry on camera?
innit? I'll cut your grass. Don't get me wrong, it's a lovely gesture. It is. And I think people demonize
Great
good
business
things
model.
too much. But it does make me laugh when they're like, I'll do it for you, don't worry. It's like I watched there's this guy who's been coming up on my feed recently. He's a locksmith. Well, he goes round and he
Oh
breaks
yeah,
into
I've seen
people's
him.
houses for them when they lock themselves out. And it's
Oh,
like,
yes.
nah, don't worry, this one's free, this one's on me. 27 million views. Like, yeah, I bet it was, mate. I fucking bet it was. But yeah, anyway, it's good. They're out there doing good deeds, and the fact that ad revenue enables them to do that, hey ho, that's great.
Thing is, though, if we were exorcismers,
Exercises. We are.
I
We'll
am
go
an
to the gym.
exerciser.
That's it. See,
Then it would be a pretty crap business model if we got rid of them permanently. So get us back once a year,
no, I'll tell you what would
permanent,
be
consistent customers.
I'll tell you why it'd be a shit business model because the algorithm fucking hates us. That's why it'd be a shit business model.
That's true. We couldn't do it for free.
No, that's it. You have to pay us. No, if you give us a location, we'll come and do it. If you have
Well-
seriously, I would love to investigate a viewer's haunted house as long
Yeah.
as you are not a murderer.
Let's put booby traps in there. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, okay, that's cool. The house is haunted again. Happy days. We can go around and do another investigation. That's fucking cool. All right, let's have a look. So we have 3 emails that I've selected, and we have a DM from a new patron. So those are the stories that I've selected that we're going to be discussing. As I've just mentioned, the Patreon, I might as well give it a shout out. So we have the Patreon where you get lots of cool exclusive content and early access content. You will get the investigations days before they release on YouTube and Facebook. You'll get all sorts of exclusive content like reactions to scary content, to funny content. You'll also get behind the scenes. You'll also get update videos. And I've just today uploaded me and Bailey playing Demonologist, which is a paranormal hunting simulator. It just kind of made sense for content to do that because we go out and do the real thing. So, yeah, there's lots of bonus content, and every single piece of bonus content is available to everyone for the lowest tier, which is £1 a month. If you want to donate more, you absolutely can, and we massively appreciate it, but you don't. Oh, and also we do exclusive episodes of this podcast as well. And that money goes towards the investigations. So helps us get Airbnbs, helps us get locations, etc., fuel
So
to
that
get
Scott
down
and
there.
Jordan don't fall asleep mid-investigation.
Well,
like
this
they
is
did last time.
exactly it. This is exactly it. So, you know,
So
this
if you
type
want better quality
Patreon,
videos,
yeah,
become a
Patreon has
patron.
paid for us to go to an Airbnb the night before 30 East Drive because last time we went to 30 East Drive, as Maya said, me and Scott fell asleep.
Everyone did actually, except me.
Yeah, for you.
And
Yeah,
I was the driver.
yeah. I think we did half and half, didn't we, on the way back? Because you were
Yeah.
literally about to die
I was literally like, I was having.
and kill us all.
I shouldn't say this.
Oh,
And I
dear.
shouldn't have done this either,
Just
but I was
sleep
so
deprived.
tired. I wasn't tired, but my body was tired. My eyes specifically. I was having
Yeah.
to rest an eye at a time while I was
That
driving
sounds like
just to give them a
tiredness.
little break.
What you say, Loz?
That sounds like tiredness.
Yeah, that's it. That's
I ain't
exhaustion.
holding up in court.
I'll make
Can-
you differ.
Can we, and obviously don't give away the exact location of the Airbnb, but whereabouts is it roughly?
Closer to us, about half an hour from. It's on the way, half an hour before.
Okay.
Why?
We've got a bit of time to kill on the Monday, haven't we?
Here we go. Lead
Because we
store
can't get to 30 East Drive until
till
6.
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, it's an evening thing. As you get 6 till 8, 6 a.m., 6 p.m. till 8
I
a.m.
paid the balance today, and it literally says, "Do not turn up before 6 o'clock."
Yeah, mate, Carol will fuck you up.
We're
You know
gonna.
what I mean? So it's right, because what we're going to do is we're going to take a little trip to Ellen Road. That's going to be
See,
great.
I told you.
Yeah,
What
when
did I
in
say?
Rome. Come on. When in Leeds. We'll put it in the video.
We're not
It'll be
in
great.
Leeds.
Everyone will see me
We're
with my little
not
Leeds
in
scarf. Like,
Leeds.
yes. Well, if we're half an hour away from Pontefract, we've got to be an hour away from Leeds. Yeah.
That's exactly my point. We're not in
If it-
Leeds.
When are we traveling down on the Sunday? Because if it's before 4, we could go past, then come back.
No, that completely defeats the object.
Tell
It's
you
really
what,
annoying though, because if I'd have known we were going to do this, there was a cheaper and nicer Airbnb to the
in
left of Leeds. So we would have had to have gone through Leeds, stopped there, and then half an hour back on ourselves.
I'm going to
My
Ellen
bad.
Road, even if I've got to go by
You can do
myself.
what you want. We can hang
Yeah.
out at the Airbnb that
Well,
I
you
paid a lot of money
absolutely
for.
can. Although it's only till 11, isn't it? Can we extend that?
Airbnb, they can't kick you out, can they? Also, the Airbnb, like without giving away,
Yeah.
well, you actually already said it. We're going down on a Sunday. The Sunday, who's checking into an Airbnb on the way to Pontefract on a Monday morning?
It's true.
So
It's
they
true.
might not have
We'll
anyone
speak to 'em.
staying.
We'll speak to him. We'll be
No,
like,
I'm
"Look,
just
don't
not
be
going to
like that.
leave.
Don't be like
Squatters'
that.
rights, isn't it?
Don't be like that." Yeah, no, it's very true. But yeah, I want to go to the superstore. Ellen Road is so ideal because literally you've got Leeds, yeah, and you've got the A1 or whatever the fuck it is,
True.
and it's literally just off it, and you're
Yeah.
there. You literally, it's like pulling in to Poswick. If you know Norwich, you know Norwich. It's like pulling into Poswick, and Ellen Road is the fucking park and ride.
That's where I
That's
used to
literally
work.
that easy. There you go. But yeah, anyway, that's all exciting and it's all relevant because it's all for an upcoming investigation. But that was the point. The Patreon pays for us to stay in places,
For Jordan to
go
go
to
to
places.
Ellen Road.
Well, this is it. This
For
is it.
Jordan to make us all go to Ellen Road
Exactly.
on our day off from work.
Yeah. No, that's it. But yeah, okay, right. Anyway, join the Patreon. Patreon.com/Studio Rhino, £1 a month.
I am also going to
Sweet
say it.
as.
Little
God.
comment section interaction. Who wants to
Oh.
take a guess as to how many lead shirts Jordan already owns?
There you go. How many Leeds shirts do I own? I'm gonna
Answer in the
help.
next pod.
I'm gonna help. It's more than 25.
I actually
Right.
don't know the latest number, but it's insane. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got a whole
I have-
cupboard just for lead
Yeah.
shirts,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
and he's
I
now
think
going
I
to
have
make
a
us go buy
rough
more.
idea of what the number is. But yeah, no, it's great. I'm really looking forward to the investigation. And also, like we did in the one that's just come out, there's going to be a bit like before. And now with the Airbnb the night before, I think we'll film a lot of that as well. If you're not into that, you can skip it to the investigation. If you are, then happy days. Right, okay. We'll go through the emails, which is dutystories@gmail.com. Email your paranormal stories. And then we'll get to the DM. Okay, right. This one is really short. So we'll start with this one. Let me just skip ahead to see if they want to be anonymous. They don't. So this is from Joe. And they say, I worked in healthcare for 36 years, and I could write a book about all of the paranormal things I've seen and heard. My favorite story: in a long-term care facility, there was a man who couldn't get in or out of bed by himself. I'd put him to bed and placed his wheelchair across the room in case he forgot he couldn't walk and decided to get up. I went back to the nurse's station to chart on patients. I looked up and his wheelchair rolled out of his room and into the hall. Okay, maybe there's a dip in the floor, the building leans, etc. Trying to make sense of it, as I watched, the wheelchair rolled back into his room. I got up, went to his room, and the chair was where I'd left it. And the brakes were still on. That's it.
Jesus.
So does that mean the wheelchair didn't move and they thought they saw it?
I think
Or
it means
move.
the wheelchair moved, went back, and then had the brake put back on. Now, I'm going to give this some credit. And this is shooting myself in the foot a little bit. Because as you all know, when you guys send in paranormal stories, the longer the better, the more detail, the better. I absolutely love it, right? This one being so short and so concise, I feel makes it for me more believable. She's like, I was at work. I put a brake on a wheelchair. I went somewhere else. The wheelchair wheeled itself out of its room. I went to go put it back. It wheeled itself back, and then the brake was put back on. Mental. You know?
Yeah, that's.
But if you're listening to that, ignore what I just said. The longer the better, the more detail the better.
Too
What
long.
do you think? If the brake wasn't back on, I'd just think, yeah, like I think it's Joe, right? It's Joe, just J-O, so I'm pretty sure that's normally a lady. Yeah, it's
Lady.
I would just think, okay, yeah, maybe the floor or whatever. But the fact that the brake was back on, what do you think?
I mean,
What
if
you
the brakes
thought?
are on, I don't see any feasible way that would be able to move of its. Even if it was wind pushing it, I just don't think that's possible.
What do you mean, not a feasible way? What about if a ghost sat in it, undid the brake,
Well, I mean, like,
wheeled it forward, then wheeled back and put the brake back on? That's feasible.
logically speaking, I mean, there's no feasible way that could move out of the room and then turn around and go back.
So ghosts aren't logical, no?
Well, some say not. I'm just saying, I'm excluding the paranormal here. I'm just saying, this might even be in support of ghosts, all right? What I'm about to say. That I
Go
don't
on.
think there's any other way that can do that without there being some sort of.
There you go. We've finally convinced him. That's it. We've done it.
I want to say that.
Should we go home?
I laughed so hard I farted then.
Your mic
don't
didn't
think-
pick it up, so
I
you
don't think
didn't
I
need to
did.
say that.
Yeah.
Could have got away.
You also
that's
didn't
proper.
laugh that hard either. That was obviously brewing.
Bart. That's one of them. Bart. But
You
yeah,
do that
great.
quite a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, I do.
All the time.
Tell everyone what was happening yesterday. So basically, it was Maya's brother's birthday. We went round his. It was very sunny as hell. Well, I got sunburn, and I'm convinced that I got a little bit of sunstroke or heat stroke or something. So I felt like a beaming headache, but also I felt like I was gonna throw up. Right, and I decided
he ate too much Dominoes too quickly. It's
I
just a
felt like
working theory.
no, I felt like it before the Dominoes came, and also I had half of a thin crust.
You had a Copperberg.
Jesus. No, listen, because it's
Continue,
funny.
sorry.
So I had a nap because I was absolutely wiped out, really ill. And what did I do? Mara kept waking up thinking that I was choking on my sick when I wasn't being sick.
Yeah. So I hate.
I was asleep. I was having a nap on the sofa, and Mara was
And
also on the sofa.
This is also not the first time that you've done that either. But you kept going because you were laying on your back, so you kept choking on your tongue, and then you go, and then you go, oh, sorry, I just choked on my own sick. I was like, no, you didn't.
I don't recall this. So I was obviously asleep.
You've done it like so many times just in bed as well. Like obviously this time it was on your mind, so you did it multiple times because you felt sick when you went to sleep. But you've done it in the past where you've just gone, and I'm like, are you all right? Because you make that noise like where you choke on your own tongue. And I'm like, oh my God, are you all right? And you're like, yeah, I just choked on my own sick. And then you just go back to sleep.
Jesus. I think it's because you have a phobia of sick. So whenever I feel sick, which isn't very often, I don't feel like I can express it because I feel like it'll upset you. So I sort of keep it internalized. And so obviously that's me essentially saying, fuck you in my sleep, being like,
let me throw up.
I'm choking on this sick that you won't let me tell you about.
You traumatize me in your sleep.
You can only retch when you sleep.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry.
end this conversation.
Yeah,
now.
sorry. But anyway, I don't know why I
Trigger
brought that up.
warning.
It was funny. Let's make it paranormal. I choked on my sick and saw a shadow figure in the corner of the room.
Well, you were
sleep
sleepwalking.
paralysis.
That's
There you go.
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually scarier than when you say that there's stuff standing behind me while I'm sleeping. I'd rather you do that than say that you've choked on your own sick.
Was it your sick?
That's
Go
it.
sick.
Was it a demon?
There you go.
Two demons, one cup.
There it is.
Video.
There it is.
I
Right.
Scott's got that downloaded.
Let's okay, let's move on to the next story. This one wants to be anonymous. If you notice that there was a little cut there, that's because I didn't get to the anonymous part. But anyway,
You just immediately doxed him. them.
Oh, no, fucking hell. Yeah,
That's gotta
no,
be
I'm not.
okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's pronouns in it. Like, I'm sure it'll be fucking fine, right? Let's get to the crux of the story. Yeah, says fucking
From
hi, Dudley.
Oh,
That's what I'm angry
dox
about.
him now.
Yeah. The email is no, I'm joking. Of course, I'm joking. I'm sure it was autocorrect.
I've got his IP address.
Right. Hi, Dudley. Loving the podcast, mate, and looking forward to you getting back to investigating. This was sent on the 13th of June. Okay, so this was before the investigation came out. Keep up the good work. Can you please keep me anonymous for this story? Now, in my defense, right, I won't show the email, but I would say this is in like a standard, I don't know, size 27 font. I don't know what whatever the standard email size
Are
is.
you blind?
Oh, size 12 then, right? Standard email font. The can you please keep me anonymous for this story is legitimately in size 6. And I don't know why. And then and then it just goes back. It just goes back to the anyway, God bless you for emailing in. Thank you so much.
Steve.
Always appreciate an email. Okay. It just made me laugh. Right. I'm a 37-year-old man who is interested by the supernatural, but have only ever had one small incident potentially involving it, and this is it. So, to set the scene, it was 2004. Great year for FIFA. I was 17 years old and at a friend's house who had recently gone through some tragic events. I won't go into it too much as don't want to disrespect them, but there was tragic loss of life of younger family members and older in a very short space of time. Fast forward a few months, and I'm at my friend's house. It was a dark winter's evening, and his mum and dad went out somewhere in their car, leaving us with the house to ourselves. Me and my friend were in a room upstairs, probably playing Football Manager. Yes, nice. And I started being a bit silly as I was under the impression we were alone in the house. And I guess I just had a sudden burst of energy. His parents were nice people, but also very strict. I'd let my guard down as I knew they were out and was doing something silly like jumping up and down on the bed whilst it was my friend's turn on the game. I can't remember exactly, but it was something across these lines. The door to the room we were in was open and the lights were off on the upstairs landing. We had a lamp on in the room we were in, and that was the only light in the area. All of a sudden, I saw a tall, skinny figure go across the landing from one room to another. The figure very much represented his mum's build, but I still froze and felt embarrassed that she had witnessed me being silly jumping on the bed in the spare room we were in. I assumed they must have came home without us noticing. Not unheard of in their house as it was brand new and not very creaky or anything. A few moments passed and I asked my friend if his parents were back. He replied confidently, "No, I don't think so." We checked out of the window and the car was still gone. My body went cold, hair stood up, etc. I was so sure that I had seen somebody. I told my friend and he seemed spooked too, but I was worried I would disrespect the recent tragic events, so didn't go too much into it with him. But I have honestly never felt so spooked about anything in my life. My friend asked me about this again in the next week or so as he claimed he saw something too. But as the tragic events were still so raw, we just didn't go into much further detail at all. It was just that 100% embarrassed feeling that I had that stayed with me. The feeling that his parents had seen me acting a fool, and the emotions of this feeling turning into, well, what the fuck was that then, is the freakiest thing I've ever witnessed and hopefully ever will. Thank you for reading, and I look forward to your thoughts on it. This is fantastic because the fact that his first feeling or emotion wasn't fear, he definitely saw something. He had to have seen something to go to embarrassment to instantly think, "Oh shit, that was my mate's mum." Like, do you know? It's not like, oh my god, I think I just saw a ghost. The fact that there was rationale there means he was rationalizing something that he saw. Does that make
Mm.
sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than leaping straight to, oh my god, it's a shadow figure. I'm so scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe 100% that he saw something,
Hmm.
even
Mm.
if it was mistaken. He saw something.
Yeah. Ew.
Really interesting. And then for that, that's horrible. To have being embarrassed is such a horrible emotion. And then being absolutely terrified is a horrible. What an absolute shitter that they had to go through
Yeah.
both
I know.
back to back. Oh,
Fuck, that's so awful.
isn't it? What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I think.
I think the same along the same lines as you. Like,
Mm.
it makes sense that he would have seen something, or at least thought he'd seen something, to go through the emotion of embarrassment to dread, um,
Yeah,
and fear afterwards, rather than the other way around
just
necessarily. Or
jumping
fear, yeah.
straight to yeah,
Mm. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. And also the like playing it down afterwards is also,
to be respectful.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
also really interesting
yeah,
because that takes a lot of thinking about it, which shows that he thought about it a lot after it happened. And
yeah,
obviously it's stuck with him to a point that 20 years later he's writing it into you.
yeah,
Mm.
So,
yeah. It's
and can
clearly a
remember
moment that stuck
something,
with him.
yeah, so clearly. So what did they say they were? 35?
37. Yeah,
37, so they would have
yeah.
been
17 at the time.
17? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's also not something that, like, 17, you're, like, still pretending to be cool at, like, too cool for school at 17. Like, it's not something that you would admit that you were scared of, if that makes
I
sense.
know what you mean. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's very much an age where you really care what people think.
Yeah. So
Mm.
you wouldn't want people to think that you think you see ghosts at 17. I feel like if it was, like, 15, seeing a ghost
Yeah,
is
like
pretty cool.
overactive imagination as well.
Yeah. 17 is a really random age for this to happen that also adds a lot of credibility to it, I think.
Yeah. No,
Because
I think
also
this is
really clear memory of what was going on as well.
mm,
Like, why would you remember what you were playing, what you were doing
yeah.
if it
Unless
wasn't a big
there's a lot
moment?
of trauma attached. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, fantastic story. Thank you so
Mhm.
much for emailing in. That is, yeah. I believe that you saw something. I do
Mhm.
believe you. Okay. Right, next story. Okay, this is signed off with a name. I'm not even going to say it till we get there, just in case. All right. Okay, another email. And again, just for everyone out there, dutystories@gmail.com, please. Get your stories read out. Okay. Good morning, Duty. Nice. This is my paranormal story from my teenage years. Just for clarification, I don't know if I believe in the paranormal or not. It's a strong start. I was 16 and had invited my first girlfriend to my family home for the first time. Growing up, my family, which consisted of my grandparents and dad, were always quite private, and friends were usually not invited in, so this was rare. Even more rare was for me and her to have been left alone in the house while my grandparents went to the shop. In the time they were away, my girlfriend made herself comfortable. She visited the bathroom when nature called, and shortly after, as we walked past the bathroom door, she said, "Have you been to the bathroom and opened the toilet seat?" Which I thought the answer was obvious, as I didn't. For clarification, my family and I always had a habit of leaving the toilet seat up, and hers the opposite. I took this as a pointless comment, savage, and that one of us had probably forgotten what we'd done, and that's it. Just didn't matter. I joked with her about some spooky situations which had occurred in the house, one specific being the night before. I said last night I stood up from my computer desk and turned around to see the low hanging light fitting in our dining room swinging back and forth. I did also admit that despite not having any short term recollection, I was very tired and I'd probably knocked my head off it. think you'd remember that. I know what you're saying. You didn't have any, which you are acknowledging you don't have any recollection. But fucking hell, I'm pretty sure you know, tired or not, if you headbutt a fucking light fixture. But hey, whilst I was telling her this story, I could see she was feeling overly uncomfortable for such a mild, spooky story. Then she lay down on the sofa, probably for comfort, and out of nowhere come one of the loudest bangs I've ever heard. It came from the top of the stairs in the open plan living room we were situated. The noise sounded as if someone had dropped okay. This was clearly loud. The noise sounded as if someone had dropped a 500-pound weight right at the top of the stairs. In that instant, she shot up off the sofa and I grabbed her as quickly as I could. Then, from the direction of the noise, we both felt a rush of heat passing through us. It was the exact same feeling as when you stand close to a pyro at the sports event and it lasted a good 10 seconds. Jesus Christ, you may have been on fire. At least 10 seconds. My girlfriend left hastily and wouldn't come back. I mean, you got yourself a cock-blocking poltergeist there, buddy.
Very, very large, strong poltergeist as well.
Yeah.
500 pounds.
Isn't it?
Damn, he thick.
Who's thick, boy?
In fact, she never returned.
Uh,
Straight after that, I investigated the house. Firstly, going upstairs where the noise came from, shouting along the way in case anyone was in. Nothing. Nobody was in the home. I then started trying to recreate the noise with anything in the vicinity, like swinging doors with force, etc. I went outside and got my dad's sledgehammer and took it to the top of the stairs. Oh, that's
Too
class.
quiet.
But yet nothing was as loud. I thought I'd had a eureka moment when I predicted it could be our old vintage boiler falling off the wall until I checked the cupboard. It was already replaced a while back with a new, compact, fully attached working boiler. That's great.
Flex.
New, compact, fully attached working boiler.
This is
British
actually an
Gas.
ad for the new
Yeah.
boiler.
well, fully attached isn't really a selling point.
Yeah. That should be the standard
bar.
practice.
A minimum level.
Fully. Mine is half attached. He doesn't know how lucky he is.
My semi.
On reflection, it felt as if my ex-girlfriend was being made to feel uncomfortable in the house. By what I don't know, it would be easy to say a ghost, I suppose. Thanks, Adrian. Thank you, Adrian, for your email. Didn't want to be anonymous. That's great. Well, that sounds pretty heavy, mate. I won't lie to you.
Literally.
Quite literally, £500 of sheer poltergeist action. That's pretty nuts. It sounds to me, if I was to fully lean into the paranormal, that it's your family home. It's established that it's yourself, your grandparents, and your dad. Always private. Friends
Mhm.
weren't usually allowed round. All of a sudden, who the
Maybe
fuck
that's
is
why.
this? Get out. I think that's what was going on. I think that
Yeah.
poltergeist wanted her out.
Maybe that's why the parents didn't let you have friends round.
Maybe.
It's because the
'Cause they knew.
poltergeist, they knew. Yeah.
You'd be under attack.
They knew the top of the stairs was getting fucking redecorated if you let
Yeah.
friends come around.
Smashed up.
They just didn't want to see it happen.
I can't
Great
even
story.
imagine what that would sound like.
I
need to
mean,
know.
500-pound weight right at the top of the stairs. That's hard. No, 500 pounds.
I mean,
That's a,
Pounds to kilos.
oh,
oh,
dear.
it's half. It's just under half, isn't it?
220 kilos is 100. Sorry,
Pounds.
220 pounds is 100 kilos.
Yeah.
Fuck.
226.8 kilos. So that is a quarter of a ton.
Jeez.
How much does an elephant weigh?
Jesus.
How much does An elephant way. Oh, I've lost it.
Is
An
this
Oh,
one of the
elephant way.
theories?
Never mind.
This is the first theory we're coming up with.
Yeah, there was an
Elephant
elephant.
ghost.
No, just an elephant. And it stacked it out the window so you couldn't find it.
Oh, dear.
No, I mean that my theory would be that you got an established household, established people in there that the ghost is comfortable with. It don't like
Mhm.
it. Get the fuck out of my ass.
Hmm.
Get out. You've got a £500 Danny Dyer poltergeist in your house.
Yeah.
Confirmed. That's
Yeah,
my
can't-
opinion.
I can't.
My
refute it.
professional
Danny Dyer.
paranormal hunter opinion is that.
I thought when you said Danny Dyer, I thought you were talking about Danny DeVito. I was like, imagining Danny DeVito, £500.
Just a slug Danny DeVito covered in Purell sliding
Just
around
that
in the top of your
blasting.
Oh, that's so
Frank,
good.
£500 Frank is haunting your house currently, or was.
Every time I think of Frank, I just think of that scene where him and Mac are walking down the road and he's pissed and he forgets that he was there.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, where'd you go? What? And he's like, I've been speaking to you for the last 20 minutes.
He starts gargling that fucking beer.
Yeah, so-
My favourite, every time I think Frank, let's just talk about It's Always Sunny for the rest of
Yeah.
the episode,
Fuck it.
is the bit where it's the cold open where he tries to hang himself.
Oh yeah.
That is
It's
the
next to
first.
the-
Lozzie showed me that's the first bit of Always Sunny I ever saw.
Yeah.
Tie a chair to me. Tie a chair to me. His neck is so thick. It's not even. For anyone who hasn't seen it, okay, his neck is so thick that it won't cut off
Can't.
the
Yeah.
airflow, so he's just dangling. I know, obviously, it's a sensitive subject, but in the context, it's funny. But yeah, it's Always
It's-
Sunny. It's just fucking amazing.
It's just the realization in that scene before the end, the cold open, that it's just not going to work. And he just goes like, "Shit," and it cuts. Just knows that he can't even achieve killing himself. It's terrible.
Tie a chair to me. Tie a chair to me. Right. Okay. The last one today. This has been sent in by a patron. Okay. Let's have a look. I literally received this 17 hours ago. This is hot off the press.
Fresh.
Jeez.
Okay. I'm going to read the whole thing. I hope that this person doesn't mind. So, hi, mate. Just thought I'd ping over a little story for your podcast you might find interesting. The story isn't my own, but it's my mum's. She likes the videos and would love to hear everyone's thoughts on it. There we go. Hello. Love the videos myself, being from Norwich.
Nice.
Also, it's sick to see local places with paranormal history. Not the greatest at wording things, so I hope it comes across fine. Mid 2017, shortly after I'd left college, my mum and my stepdad had booked a two-night stay in a cottage in Weybourne, Norfolk. The building itself was a one-story with an attic conversion, rather small, and had a cobblestone appearance with low-hanging wooden beams on the interior. Given the description, I would say the structure itself dated back to maybe 1600s kind of time period. Once inside and having a look around to see where they were staying, my mum says she was immediately drawn to the old artifacts in the main living quarter, inspecting them, closing, and for some, even touching them. These artifacts were likely to have been from the farm where the cottages now stand. The building looked to be maybe a converted barn or a stable. The first night went by and all was very much normal. On the second day, they had been to Sheringham. Sheringham is beautiful, by the way, to which my stepdad had purchased my mum a red candle as a gift. It was the last night, so she decided to run herself a bath to unwind and relax, lighting the candle beside her. During the course of the bath, she noticed herself becoming physically drained. She described the experience as being inside a vacuum, being inside a vacuum. It was strange and nothing she had experienced before. Feeling overly tired, they both went to sleep. During the night, she was awoken by the sound of footsteps walking across the far end of the attic next to the staircase. Thinking it was my stepdad being overly loud going to the toilet or something, she called out, "What the fuck are you doing?" Now, this is where my life would end. Only to roll over and realize he was still laying next to her, already awake, and he could also hear the footsteps. They both laid silently together, listening for a short moment, only to hear the footsteps move up and down the bottom of the bed and finally to the side where my mum was laying. In a panic, my mum asked for the lights to be turned on and the footsteps proceeded to stop. Feeling horrendous about the whole ordeal, they moved downstairs into the kitchen slash living room quarters to have a cup of tea and discuss they'd just been through. What a beautifully British way to deal with the
Yeah.
situation. That is absolutely
Did
incredible.
they have a scone as well?
That's I hope they did. I would have fired a fucking crumpet in the toaster. No, and I'm being serious. I love that they had a cup of tea. That is fucking
Yeah, it's
brilliant.
really cute.
Speaking to them both about everything that happened, they are certain they were not alone that night. Although the situation itself was rather intense, my mum remains certain in thinking whatever was inside the bedroom with them both did not want to cause them harm
Mm.
and perhaps was just doing its thing, staring at two people in a bed, even if that's just their thing. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah. So at best, I feel like you've got a peeping Tom ghost there. Hope you find this interesting. Big fan of the videos and podcasts. Keep smashing it. Certainly find this interesting. Thank you so much. There's a little bit more. P.S. I also have a theory for your Estes method. Sometimes you get random words come through, such as help, etc. Once again, this is just a theory. Potentially, if something has been following you around, maybe whatever has the attachment hasn't yet manifested enough to piece full sentences together. So maybe it only has the strength to pass a few words at a time through different sessions. It could be trying to communicate, really far fetched, but could be something. That's awesome, mate. Thank you so much for that theory. It might be quite interesting. And I know you could say you're putting it together yourself, etc. But maybe it'd be quite interesting to maybe have a look through a few of our Estes methods at different locations and see if there is kind of like a sentence that could be pieced together, which
Mm.
would tie into this theory.
We
Um,
always get the same stuff on Estes Methods as well. Like, it's really
yeah,
weird. We always hear Scott's voice. We
yeah,
always get the countdown thing.
yeah. Up, fire
Mm.
tends to be a lot as well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, there's definitely some interesting stuff on the Estes method. And I'll definitely take that in consideration. Thank you so much for your theory. I really appreciate it. Okay, but the story was fantastic.
Mm.
I want to know if you. I'm gonna say your first name. You haven't said anything about being anonymous. Aiden, thank you so much for the story. Um, is there any chance, even though it was in 2017, was it like an Airbnb? I'm just wondering if there's any record of this cottage in Weybourne, Aidan. If you could let us know, I would love to investigate there. That would be absolutely awesome. And
It's
we
a
can base the
great
whole
shout.
thing on the fact that your mum and your stepdad stayed there and they had a paranormal experience. That's good enough for me to
Hmm.
go there. So if you could let me know, that would be absolutely epic. Um, the story was epic. I absolutely love it. It's absolutely terrifying. It's not something I'd like to experience myself. Um, there's just so many layers to it. You know, the fact that, you wake up, or your mum wakes up, thinks, what on earth is your stepdad doing, being so loud, going to the toilet, rolls over to see that A, he's still in the bed. That's scary,
Loved
right?
her reaction though.
Yeah, what the fuck are
The
you
fuck are
doing?
you doing? Because that's literally what happened when I thought you guys were walking around after we went
After
to
30 East
30
Drive.
Drive.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I thought
absolutely.
I thought someone was cutting their toenails in the toilet, and then I thought the three of you or two of you
Walking
whoever
up the
was here
stairs. It
were
was
just
me,
walking
Bailey, and
doing
Scott.
laps. I
Yeah, but we'd
literally was
actually
like,
gone out.
"What are you guys doing?" And then there was no one there.
Yeah, we'd gone out. We'd gone shopping in Norwich for a camera, beautiful that I gave back because I just didn't feel like I needed it, but I really wish I kept it. So yes, you got that. Rolls over. Oh, he's still in the bed with me. So what the fuck is that over there? But also that he is already awake
Mm.
and experiencing this. So you got two people experiencing the same thing, both hearing these footsteps walking up and down and then coming around the side of the bed. That is disgusting. That is vile. That is like frozen in fear levels of vile.
Mhm.
Great story. Great story.
Do you reckon that the ghost felt embarrassed?
What do you mean?
Just a human just going, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Sorry.
You're meant to be scared of me.
Yeah.
Ah,
What do you
shit.
mean? What am I doing?
That's so
I'm sneaking
nasty.
around.
I'm trying to scare you.
I'm a fucking ghost.
Oh,
That's
dear.
fucking. I didn't even think of that. That's fucking quality.
That's
But yeah,
ruthless.
no, brilliant story. Thank you for the story, Aiden. Thank you to your mum as well, who's also a viewer slash listener. So thank you for sharing your experience. Yeah, if you could get me the details of that cottage, we will go there. And we'll dedicate it to yourself, your mum, and your stepdad as well. That'd be awesome. Right. Let me just see. I did ask in the chat of the Patreon for the Patreon question of the day. Okay. Let me have a little look. Okay. We're going to go with Ghost of 1,000. This one is specifically for Lozzie. Question for Lozzie from a Ghost of 1,000. With you attending more investigations lately, has your skepticism level changed? Are you swinging more towards a believer, or are you? I wouldn't even say before you were on the fence. You were you were on the other side of the fence. Are you coming any closer to sitting on the fence?
I mean, he has misrepresented my position. That's fair. But I respect it because Ghost of 1,000, he's a true fan.
Darren's awesome.
He is cool. I would say I wouldn't say the needle's moved, but I'm never like I'm not at the position that they cannot possibly ever exist. I just haven't seen
Yeah.
proof that they do. So by default, I must be on the side that doesn't believe of them yet.
Hmm.
That's all I can really
That's
say.
no, that's absolutely perfectly valid and perfectly fair.
Yeah. But I would say the more investigations, logically, the more investigations I go to and experience, there's the better chance that it will move
Yeah.
to the other side
Mm.
because I'm just being exposed to more
Yeah.
paranormal potential stuff.
Do you know
I'm
what?
really
At
sorry.
this
The food
point,
shop's here. I'm gonna have to go.
oh, okay, we're now going to wrap up. See you later, Maya.
Bye. I'll leave.
Bye.
Bye.
You know, right now, I think it'll be asking too much, and I know what it would take to get you to believe. It would be a full blown apparition, which is absolutely fair.
Yeah.
And that's to get you to full believer. I really want you to experience something. Maybe it's not something that is fucking life changing, but something that, even if it's for a moment, moves the needle for you.
Yeah.
You know, that would be that's. I know, like, you have like what do you call it, like macro goals and micro goals. I say a micro goal for me is to get your needle to move
Yeah.
just even a little bit, for you to go like, just have that little, like, little bit of doubt, even for a moment, would be epic. Have you had a moment of doubt?
Yeah. I mean, in the latest investigation. If we didn't find the origin of that noise from the pigeon or the bird, wherever it was, and
Yeah.
that continued to go on, I'd have been like, "What the fuck's that? I can't
Yeah.
explain." So if you class that, I would say like anything that I can't logically explain by default must move the needle slightly.
Yeah.
So
And that's really cool, and that's really interesting. But it also that also just makes me want to um, make sure that we do absolutely everything we can to debunk anything at any moment, because then when it comes to we can't
mm,
debunk, then that has to lend even more credibility to the moment.
yeah,
Because if we had just like taken that at face value, not had a look around, but been like, "Oh, that noise is weird," you would have come away and been like, "Well, actually, thinking about it, there was a bird in there or something," So, but the fact that we found it and identified it, you know,
yeah.
because if we
As
had,
long as we spend, effort and time to actually figure out if something is legit or not,
yeah,
within, the expertise that we have. I'm not saying like
yeah,
send it to a lab or something, but
yeah, yeah, yeah,
if we search, like I immediately went outside and went to look down the side passage that had kind of
yeah,
basically kicked in or kicked through, and there was nothing there. So then I came
mm,
back in and think you and Bailey had already got a footage
just
of what
found the nest,
the
yeah,
painting, yeah. So as long as we do that, that's fine.
yeah,
It's it is a positive that we do that. Um,
yeah.
so,
I mean, it's like one of the things that I mean, you were there for the second one with the farmhouse.
mm,
For me, what appeared to be an apparition on that door, I it's actually annoyed. Obviously, it's awful that it burned down, but it's annoyed me as well, selfishly, that it burned down, because I feel like we had to go back there at like the dusky kind of level,
mm,
because it could have been low sun somehow reflecting off something,
yeah,
and we can never know. We
no,
can never rule that out or explain it, which is frustrating, because I feel like that's potentially, I know for a fact it wasn't one of us because no one was wearing clothes like that. But I don't know if it was maybe, I don't know, fucking sun goes down at 9, it's 8:15, the sun is low and it hits the woodwork differently, I don't know. But
mm,
if we'd gone back at the same time and we're able to rule that out, then for me, I mean, that looks like a girl in a dress. Is fucking horrific.
it does.
But
No,
there is always that, well, maybe it was the sun at a certain angle, so we'll never have that, unfortunately, because some
yeah,
prick burnt it down. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, no, it's cool. Are you looking forward to 30's Drive?
I am indeed.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. Even if nothing happens, it'll be fun. That's what I love about these investigations. Even if like zero happens,
Yeah, I
like
mean,
when we
I've
went
never
to
come
Darren
away.
Woods,
I've never come away. Like I was going to say, Darren Woods. I've never come away thinking that was a complete waste of time.
yeah, and we drove to fucking Kent for it.
Yeah, yeah,
That was long, but it was still fun. And that's the thing. I know some people criticize, like, "Oh, you laugh too much," and stuff. It's like, it's because we're having fun, and if we
But
didn't have fun, then we
that's
probably
like
wouldn't do it anymore.
that's part of it that I enjoy. The fact
Yeah,
that I wouldn't enjoy it if we were just there, like
yeah,
get the footage, get the stuff regimented, done.
yeah,
No fucking emotion other than this is what we're doing.
yeah,
I think it's the funny bits that break the videos up anyway. Is but for
yeah,
me, as a person who consumes the content because I watch them, I
yeah,
find them more entertaining and other creators entertaining who implement comedy in, whether it be
yeah, for
organic or
sure.
scripted.
Yeah. So I feel like we have a laugh amongst ourselves. We're never disrespectful. We just have a laugh.
Yeah,
And then when we turn it on, we turn it on. When we're a bit like, oh shit, okay, need to be a bit serious now, we do. And I think it's that balance that is really good about what we do. But yeah, Yeah, no, it's going to be very different as well, this 30 East Drive, because, we're staying the night before and all that sort of stuff. It's going to be cool. It's going to be very relaxed
Mm.
and not tired. Fucking hell, man. Last time I did 30 East Drive, I had a golf competition in the morning, drove to 30 East Drive, and by like fucking 10 p.m., bearing in mind we went till like 5, I was absolutely fucked.
Jesus.
Fucked. But we won't be this time, which is great. So, yeah. Right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Mara's gone to sort out the food shop. I'm now going to go watch House of the Dragon episode. Second to last episode? I don't know what. 8, I think. I don't know.
8, yeah.
Have you seen it?
I haven't yet.
Nice. Same. No spoilers. Right. We shall see you again very, very soon. Thank you so much. Any podcast ideas? Let us know. Come and join us over on the Patreon for a chat. See you later, guys.